It's the camaraderie.
Thank you.
We're a band of brothers and sisters without a doubt. Doesn't matter what generation you served. I mean, I was just talking to a brother over here. I mean, that's just it. We are brothers. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where we're from, who we are. Doesn't matter. Band of brothers.
Well said, man. Well said. I can always tell where my Marines are because I'm standing on a stage that is 3 feet tall, and now we are finally the same height right now. That's how I know it's a Marine. Marines, I love about you is every time when I see you guys come up, you don't just stand up. You go over and you immediately look for the other Marines and start pointing them out right there. You hold the true to form. I know that there's that adage right there, once a Marine, always a Marine. And you live by that every single time. That's pride. And you know, I even did this event on the Sunrise one time. We didn't have a single Marine in the room. I was like, there's no way we're doing the military event and not have the Marines here. So we still played the song. I'm not lying to you. This guy was at the casino, left his chips on the table, heard the famous bit of that song. He bolted over, went right into clapping and singing. I'm like, that's some pride in what you do there. And I thought about later on, I was like, let's be honest. Who in their right mind goes over and leaves chips, not just a casino, on a cruise ship casino, and leaves them? I'm going to come back to that. And then I thought about some more. If someone stole Marines' chips, that might be the worst decision of their entire life. This whole room, we would have them sniffed out and brought back in under 2 minutes, no question about it. But Marines, you were the first in, you were the last out, and you look at those uniforms, you look good while doing it too. So one more time, let's show some love for our Marines here today. And thank you for your service. And you know, being on a cruise ship, you know, we got a whole lot of love for this next group because this is a walk in the park for this next branch right here. I want to know, do we have any Navy personnel? Stand up, Navy! Oh, yes, Navy!
Anchors away. Come on, man. Anchors away. Come on, Navy. There we go. We sing that every day. I should know it.
And if you love the Navy, show the Navy some love here today.
You are.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. We got to go to my friend right back on over here. He started conducting the song halfway through. What do you love the most about the Navy?
Everybody. I was a cook, so every morning I got to make everybody smile. We gonna come back home. That's my job.
Well said right there. You know, Navy, I love you because, you know, you go over and you serve this country, not just overseas. Sometimes on the seas or under the seas for months and maybe years at a time. And you finally get a vacation. And where do you go?
Back to
A cruise ship. You can't take the Navy off the water.
Tell my mama that.
Right here. Like even the rockiest state, they're the ones who are laying out and having the most fun. Like, oh, this is the most beautiful conditions we could ever ask for here. But you know what? I gotta say too. I did one cruise, a 31-day cruise from Australia over to Alaska, and I did my shellback initiation. And you know, I went over and he waxed the chest and the legs and tossed the old food all over me. And the thing was, I heard the stories of what you guys did. That I felt that waxing had never felt better in my life because I've heard the stories we did early in the morning. Oh, that was a whole different initiation there. But I will say, you know, you are that common thread. On a serious note, Navy, you collab with every single brand.
Yes, we do.
There's not one you don't collab with, and you're that one that brings this whole family together. So I want to say thank you for what you do. And one more time, let's show some love for our Navy personnel here today. And thank you for your service.
Thank you for noticing.
And of course, we cannot forget about this next branch because we are very lucky to have this next group. And I've been told the accommodations weren't the worst things either. I don't know if that's true, but I do want to know, do we have any Air Force personnel? Stand up, Air Force!
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, let's clap up for the Air Force.
Off we go into the wild yonder, flying high in the sky. Here they come.
Then I saw a smile right over there. I gotta go and ask her because when I see it going ear to ear, there is someone who loves what they're doing. What do you love the most about the Air Force?
Well, first of all, it was some 40 years ago that I served, but my dad served, my sister served, my brother served. So
Yeah.
I always felt family. It was great. Great combination.
I love that right there. And again, that's a big part too. And I'm going to show some up because I think it shows many of our people who do go and serve the forces. Those are military families there. So let's, off the bat, let's show some love to the military families and generations that go down too. But I love that answer. And I had this one guy before, and I asked the same question. And this guy was about 2 of me tall and 2 of me wide. That's not an exaggeration. As in, if I caught him in bed with my girlfriend, I would just go ahead and tuck him on in. I was petrified of the man. But he actually walked up on the stage. I was just like, all right, this is your stage now. I'm out of here. And he starts pacing around. He's mean mugging. He's like, when an army personnel walks into their hotel room, they see a cockroach on the floor. They don't care. They'll stomp on it and they'll yell at it. If a Marine walks into their hotel room and they see a cockroach on the floor, they don't care. They'll stomp on it and they'll eat it. But when an Air Force personnel walks into their hotel room and they see a cockroach on their floor, you better believe they're gonna go and grab the phone and call guest services because that's called standards. So you just.
We appreciate him for that.
If you had seen this gentleman, that was the last thing you thought was coming out of his mouth. But I think on a serious note, everyone in this room can agree, we sleep a whole lot better at night knowing we have the Air Force looking out for us from up above. So right now, can we show some love for our Air Force personnel? And thank you for your service. And I did mention, we're lucky, especially on a cruise ship, for certain branches, and this one especially is very near and dear to our hearts, looking after our own people. Do we have any Coast Guard personnel? Oh yes, we do, Coast Guard!
I did it twice. I did it twice.
No, not you, Space Force, it's not your turn.
No, I don't know.
Coast Guard, we gotta get the song for you. I'll be right back.
I'm the only one? That's normal.
Wait for it. Let's clap it out for the Coast Guard.
I was in the fast program, so I don't remember that one, man.
And if you love the Coast Guard, show the Coast Guard some love.
I did
You
it.
know what, Kendra? We have options today. This is awesome. Let's come to my friend right over here. What do you love the most about the Coast Guard?
There's no reason not to because we are the best. Without us, none of you would even be here today.
Facts.
That's true. Well,
Facts.
that's very true. On a cruise ship, that's for. Actually, I'm glad you said that too because the Coast Guard. First, off the bat, one more time, let's show some up for the Coast Guard here because I think some people they forget what's going on when they're getting called into action. Whether it's doing seizures, trying to go back, keep the streets and the drugs away from us, or rescues. It is never nice weather like this. It is the most inopportune conditions. That's when they're getting called in for those rescues and. We actually do Coast Guard drill. We just did a Coast Guard drill right before you guys came on board. And they do that so that way we know every I is dotted and T is crossed and you are safe and you can relax on vacation. But I'll be honest with you, when Coast Guard comes on, the crew members will have the biggest game of hide and seek you will ever see in your life. Because you don't want to be the person to get a question wrong. You will see the team hide behind curtains and the housekeepers under the tables and fun squads in the rafters just trying to hide from the questions. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I've done now almost 90 years and I've never been asked a question before. And this one happened about a year ago. I've been studying up, I'm standing right there on the bridge, captain's behind me, they have to go around me just to get to him. I'm shoulders back, I'm smiling, I'm like, this is my time, I'm getting my question. He looked me up and down, and he goes, nope, and went to the person right next to me and started asking. I asked Matthew, we were laughing, I said, why did you ask me a question? He goes, you're too eager, son.
Yep.
At this point, I'm not gonna lie to you, I gave up on it. I just start asking them questions until they get annoyed with me. Robert from upstate New York, I'm proud of you, he's going to grad school soon. He could not have ran away from our conversation any quicker this other day. But hey, on a serious note, they're looking after our own people back in our own waters and our own land. So let's show some love for our Coast Guard personnel. And thank you for your service. And of course, we can't forget, surprise, make a little teaser, which branch is coming up next. But do we have any? Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Space Force personnel. Can we still go over and show some love to the Space Force, everybody? Do we have any in the room here?
I thought about it.
This will be a trend. Even if they're not physically here today, we are still going to go over and show these groups the same amount of love, because you shouldn't have physically be somewhere to be appreciated for what you do and the sacrifices you do. But I'll just speak on it for them. When they first came out, like many others, I was like, what wars are we fighting in space? It's like a Star Wars thing, but in 2025 and soon to be 2026, when we talk about cybersecurity, when we talk about satellites, they're doing a whole lot of good looking out for us. So we gotta give them some love today. Let's give it up for our Space Force, everybody. And I wanted a few more groups of people because, oh, God for me, this one right here, I think everyone in this room can agree. Even if you're from a different country, if you're out there doing that same fight, hey, you are looking out for us too. We are very indebted to you. And I think we have some in the room. So my international allies, can you please stand up? And we please show some love for our international allies here today. I want to say, on that note, thank you for your service, because we don't get to go over and have these freedoms and liberties without everything that you do for us as well. And I want to do another shout out too, because this next group does not get that spotlight, that fanfare that they properly deserve. And this room understands it. We get it here. But many outside these doors don't understand how much they do serve this country too. And when one half is overseas, there's the other one who's back home, and they are serving. And they're that ones that keep that foundation strong, that glue that holds it together. It is not easy. I think everyone in this room knows it too. But they make it look easy because that's how good they are at it. And it's that support. I think that one, especially alone, might not be that first week you're home, that first month or year. There's going to be that time that you just need that support by your side. And this group does it relentlessly. That they will never turn their back on you. They got your back. And let's go over and turn the table for a second. My military families, can you please stand up for a quick second? And can we please show some love for our military families here today? I'm talking about the spouses. These are the husbands and wives. I'm talking about the parents, the moms and dads, the children, the siblings. Thank you for what you do. And I mean this too. This is not me just saying it. You can see the people who are clapping out. You mean so, so much to them. And that cannot be stressed up. And you serve this country. So thank you for what you do. And one more time, let's give it up for our military families here today. I had one couple where he had served 18 years and his wife had done 20. And he said during this event that the scariest 2 years, there were the ones when he was back home and she was overseas. I think that puts perspective of how much you really do for us. So once again, thank you for everything you do to my military families. Clap that one more time. And I wanted a few more groups of people, and I'll leave with this. I would never dare try to name every group, because if you try and do that, you'll leave any out. That'd be a bit insulting. So I'll name a few major ones. If I leave any out, any groups, any conflicts, you let me know during the open forum. We will shout them out. This event is military. It's appreciation for people who sacrifice. So if I miss any, you let me know. We will add those in during the open forum. But the one I always start out with, if we have any World War II veterans in the room, can you please make yourself known? Can we still go over and show some love for our World War II veterans, everybody? I'll just say this too. They are still around. If you see them, you see the hat, please take a few minutes out of your day and go shake that hand. And we had one gentleman who was here this summer, it was in July on this trip. And I mean, when you shook his hand, you were nervous to even dare squeeze your hand because it was so fragile. But he was the most proud person I've ever seen. He couldn't stop smiling, kept saying, I'm proud of you. We tried doing a group photo at the end. We couldn't get the photo in because he couldn't stop talking to everybody and shaking every person's hand on stage. That's how much it means to him. And you know, even right before the pandemic, I had one gentleman, he was 101st Airborne, dropped down on D-Day when he was 17 years old, and you could have heard a needle drop on that one. That story was captivating. And a little backstory to him, due to his health, he had an option. It was going to the Carnival cruise ship with his family, or he got offered to go to the Super Bowl and flip the coin. This guy was on the Carnival cruise ship. I'm not gonna lie to you, I work for this company. I'm flipping that coin every single time. He's a better man than me. I tip my hat off to him. But now there's one thing he said that day, which I think will stick with everybody in that room. And he goes, we just want to be remembered. And to actually have someone go over and say that to you, yeah, you're gonna remember. That's gonna stick with you. And that's not asking too much. So if you see him, remind them they are still part of this. Go shake that hand. That means the world to them. And let's do it right now. Let's show some love for our World War II veterans, everybody. Another group on a similar line. If you have any Korean War veterans in the room, can you please make yourself known? Let's go and show some love down here. That's important. You gotta keep saying those names and telling those stories. There are some around. We had one 2 cruises ago. Same rule applies. You see that? Give them a little extra love. Keep reminding they are still part of this. And the one I want to give the loudest cheer for today, this group went over. They served our country and they came home. There was no thank yous. There was no welcome homes. It was the exact opposite. They got off that plane and there was things thrown at them immediately. They were spit tossed their way. The names they were called were just outright disgusting. And the way we treat our military to this day has completely changed because of what they had to endure. Let's give them that welcome home they deserved a long time ago. Let's give them that thank you. My Vietnam War veterans, can you please stand up for a second? And can we please show some love for our Vietnam War veterans here today? First, I want to say thank you for your service. And thank you for teaching us a lot there too, because hey, I think many in this room have heard some of the stories, and that does not begin to scratch the surface of what you had to deal with. You went over, you served your country. You deserve the welcome home. You deserve a prayer that many get nowadays. But the one thing you taught us was, no, you had every right to fight back. No one could have blamed you. But you knew where your character was, and you kept it right there. You weren't going to go over and sink down to the level. You were going to keep that right there. And you showed us how to carry ourselves, how to be adults, and really how to have a bit of class to ourselves. And we learned a lot from you there. And I'm very sorry that it took so long for people to realize their mistakes there. But I'll say right now, we are very proud of you. And we are very thankful for everything you did and everything you do. So one more time, let's show some love for our Vietnam War veterans. And thank you for your service. I want to hit a few more groups, and if we had anyone that served during the Cold War era, can you please make yourself known? And can we please show some love for these veterans here today? Well, if anyone served in Desert Storm or Desert Shield, can you also make yourself known so we can give you that love for your services? If we had anyone that served in Bosnia or Somalia, can you stand up so we can give you that love here today? And that just emphasizes why we love our international allies. It wasn't just empty words, but you see them standing up right by you too. That holds a lot of value for us. So thank you for what you do. As well too, I want to shout out, if anyone served in Grenada or Panama, can you please stand up so we can give you that love this morning? I will say, I worked with a fun squad member from Grenada, and it shows a little perspective too. They are very grateful, and she said if it wasn't for the troops going down there, she would not be alive today, and her family would not either. I think that is a reminder that it's not just us that loves you. There are many people around the world who are very grateful for the things that you do right there. And I also want to do a group, if anyone served in either Iraq or Afghanistan, can you please also stand up so we can give you that love this morning for everything you have done for us here. I do want to hit a few more groups too, and That group we gotta give some love for. They sacrificed the time. That's our Purple Heart recipients. So if we do any Purple Heart recipients,
Hoorah.
can we give them some love here today? Whether they're here, whether they're back home.
Oh, like everybody does it.
If we have any Bronze Star or Silver Star recipients, can you please make yourself known so we can give you some love here today? There might not be any in the room, but on the chance I get to meet one, I'd never want to miss the opportunity. And hey, we gotta give them love as well. That's our Medal of Honor recipients. We also show some love for them as well this morning.
I'll take it out there and buy you a drink.
This next group does not need to stand up if they do not feel comfortable, but we can only imagine how much they go through. And that's a lot of sacrifice. We'll always show them that love and that compassion. That is our Gold Star families. So at this time, can we also give some love and support for our Gold Star families, whether they're here, whether they're back home. You may notice today too, there is one table that is set up and there's a chair that is not sat in. And this is always going to be here because this is always our reminder of our MIAs and our POWs. And we are never going to forget them and they will never not be a part of this. So at this time, can we also give some love for our MIAs and our POWs at this time? And another reminder for us comes every year. That's September 11th. And that's a day we don't forget. But as a reminder of this group, where that was a time where everyone was rushing this direction, and there was another group that was running straight at it without hesitation. They do that on a daily basis, looking out for us. So my first responders, can you please stand up? And can we please show some love for our first responders here today? For their sacrifices and their service. Another group I want to put a little spotlight for because whenever the country needs them, they are there for us. They'll get that call and say, I'm here, let's do it. That's our National Guard, that's our reserves. So National Guard reserves, can you please stand up as well? If we please give some love for them in this group here. It's not easy, but when you're on call and you are here anytime the country needs you, so thank you for what you do. I got just two more for me, but again, if I miss any during the open forum, please let me know. But this next one, the women of the military. Can you please stand up for a quick second? And can we please show some love to the women of the military here today? Because tell me if I'm wrong, but do many people come up to you and just assume that you are the spouse or the sibling, and they reach to the gentleman's hand instead of yours when you go over and you serve? I think it's about time we put that out into the air and call it out as it is right there. You serve this country, you serve your country, that deserves the recognition right off the bat. There shouldn't be the, I'm going to this hand first and then, oh, thank you for being the other half. No, you serve it. Let's give you that love for it. And even to the point, many probably went over, and you want to go serve, and yeah, you can serve to this capacity. You can serve to this much. And you heard that, and you said, BS. And you proved them wrong. And it wasn't, here's 15 tries, go ahead. It was go one for one. And even if you knock that one down, they go, all right, here's the next challenge. But hey, you just keep knocking them down. And I don't say obstacles because that means you go over around it. I'll say it once in the microphone. You are badass and you go through walls and you open up those opportunities. I know there's still more, but you keep knocking them down and things are going to change. And let's do it one more time. Let's give it up for our women in the military here. Thank you for your service. And the last one for me, if we have any active duty in the room, can you please make yourself known? Can we still go over and show some love for our active duty, everybody? Especially at this time of year, too. A little extra love for them. But again, if I miss any out during the open forum, please let me know. But before we move on, I do want to do a quick moment of silence, as I think many in this room, there is some that we wish was physically here today that unfortunately is not. The one thing I'm going to implore you to do, please keep saying those names and please keep telling those stories. You do that, those legacies don't die out. And just to catch no one off guard, we will be playing the taps to the very end. At this time, a moment of silence. Thank you. In a moment, we're moved to open forum, but I'm not going to beat around the bush. That is by far the toughest part of this whole event. And rightfully so. Those people mean a lot to us, but just kind of help us ease back in and break the ice a little bit. I like to tell this story. It was my old girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, was from England, and she was always asking, why are we so patriotic? She thought we were a little overly patriotic. We loved our military like a little too much, or loved our flag too much. And I'll never forget the moment when it actually clicked for her. And she said the words, I understand now. Also, just to be clear, my current girlfriend is also from England. Busted, I have a type. That one's on the cruise ship, so please don't get these mixed up. I'll get in a lot of trouble for this one. But the other one, we're not dating anymore, and this story is embarrassing for her. So I love telling this story as much as I can. But we were on the Carnival Ecstasy at Mobile, Alabama, and she wanted to go to brunch. My feelings on brunch is pretty much this. I want to have breakfast, but for some crazy reason, I'm going to wait 3 hours to have that breakfast I wanted earlier, and then I'm going to let them charge me double the amount just for that same breakfast. But I realize in relationships, you got to pick and choose your battles, and yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, brunch is not going to be the one thing I put my foot down on. So we're going to brunch, and this one guest went on board, told her about this, recommended an amazing brunch place to her, and even used the word bougie. So she got all excited, she's bouncing up and down, and she goes, can we please go to this place? When I heard the name of that brunch place, I wish I could have found that guest and shook his hand. Because she gets all excited and she goes, it's this amazing brunch place called the Waffle House. And you have to bear in mind, hearing that in real time, I'm like, this is your one shot. You don't blow this, Tyler. I'm just keeping everything aside. But we can go, but I heard it's going to get busy, so we got to get there early. We get in that Uber ride. I'm just grinning ear to ear. I can't hold my excitement. We got probably getting that Uber. She sees the big black and gold sign. I saw the soul leave her body. She was like, I don't think this is the right place. This is not a lie. I promise, I swear to you on this. We got into that parking lot right there. The only things you could see, there was another Waffle House across the street, and there was another one there was 3 Waffle Houses in isolate at one spot, and that's the only thing you could see around you. So she had no choice. She had to join me. Best breakfast of my life. Probably why we're not dating anymore, but hey, things work out in the end. But I'm walking, I'm high-fiving random people. I'm like, hey, good choice. And we go and get the booth, and we're sitting down for a little bit, and about 5 minutes go by, and this gentleman has an army uniform, young guy, and his mom, and they got the booth right next to us. Nothing out of the ordinary. I was like, hey, thank you for service, great choice of place. And she was doing what she always did. She's a bit nosy. She's like, you seeing this? I'm like, yeah, leave them alone. Now they're just having their meal, like, relax. And 10 news on, maybe about 15 more minutes go by, and this gentleman has his Vietnam War veteran hat, and he clocks the uniform, and he does what you guys do every single time. You see someone who's served, doesn't matter when or what branch, you go over, you go shake the hand every single time. And I'm going to tell you, this kid was so starstruck. And I know that for a fact, because for one, he jumped out of his seat to go shake his hand, and his waist hit the table, and you could hear everything kind of rattling behind us. But he just shouted in admiration. He was saying, hey, I know you didn't get that thank you, that welcome home you deserve, sir. It's a pleasure to shake your hand. And when I'm saying starstruck, I'm from Boston. We speak fast, straight out the womb. This guy was talking 10 times faster than I've ever spoken in my life. I'm being honest, the guy told me, hey, take a breath, son. And then he goes, they chose me. They told me to go serve. But you chose to serve your country. I think that's amazing. No, wasn't trying to outdo each other. It was just respect, it was love, it was admiration, just going back and forth. And yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm eavesdropping now too. I'm getting a little bit nosy. I'm going to hear the conversation. And the mom did what every mom does. Say, hey, would you like to go over and join us for breakfast? Yeah, of course, he said yes. And they had breakfast together. And that was the whole thing that happened. I wish I could tell you there was more to the story, but we were walking out, and my girl at the time was asking, hey, do they know each other? I was like, no, that's just how the military works. They see someone else who served, and that, boom, instantly, that's a family. And she said the words, I understand now. She actually said out loud, she goes, I get now why you are so patriotic about that. And it's not really what happens overseas, it's things that happen right back here. When you go over, you're still looking after each other, and you're still loving each other unconditionally. And it's to the point, my friend right here and my friend right here, you probably don't know each other. But I'll tell you for a fact, if someone came over and tried to ill-speak you, he would be the first person right by her side, get in their face, and vice versa. If someone came, they would speak, oh, she would be Johnny on the spot. She'd be there in front of you before you even had a chance to say anything. And I want to say thank you for it because I wish the rest of the world could learn a little something about how to look after their people like the military people do, because no one does it better. I want to say from me to you, thank you for doing that, because that's what really matters in this world, is that love, that camaraderie. At this time, we'll move it to the open forum. So if you want to go over and share any stories, if you want to shout out more groups of people, if you want to share any networks, the only thing I'm going to ask is we're going to take that talk of politics and we're going to leave it back in Miami right where it belongs. There's a time and place for everything. I'll be honest with you, a cruise ship is not the time nor the place for politics. That's why we come here, to get away from that for a little bit. So other than that, if you want to talk, just raise your hand, we'll come on over.